Hello, hello, welcome back to Spark School. This week we are going to be doing a lesson in pivoting. Have you ever been in a point in your life where you think you know what you want, you get what you want, and all of a sudden you look around and you're like, I don't think I want this anymore. It's happened to me a lot. And a lot of people have the belief that that is not a good thing, that once you get to a certain place in your life, then you should commit to it and stay with it. And I can tell you, I know a lot of people who are stuck in lives that they do not like because of this. Now, the first time I really had this experience, it was a pretty big experience. As I've mentioned before, I was raised by a single mom, and I didn't have that father figure in my life until I was in my late teens. So for me, when I was thinking about my future, I knew that I wanted to have a stable life with a stable income, a stable relationship. Then I wanted my kids to have a dad. So when I got to being in my mid-20s, I had everything that I had wanted when I was a kid. I had the marriage, I had the children, I had the stability, I had the house, I had the car, and I looked around and I wasn't happy. So you might be listening to this story and you might be relating it to certain things in your own life where you have found yourself either in a relationship or a job or just overall where you're at in your life and been unhappy. Now, at this point, I did not think that I could change. I did not want to be a single mom. I had the belief that if I was going to leave my husband, then I was going to be struggling because I saw my mom struggle. My environment told me that single moms struggle, and I did not want that for my children. So I stayed in this marriage for a very long time. I was so miserable in my marriage that I found myself completely numb to the world around me. And I thought everybody else had these great marriages in my life. Everybody, especially on social media, was posting photos of how amazing their spouse was. And I didn't feel like I could tell anybody. And everything really shifted for me when I went on a road trip with one of my closest friends, and she shared with me that her marriage had been very sad for a very long time, and she had been so unhappy that she actually wished her husband would cheat on her so she would have a valid reason to leave, because just being unhappy wasn't good enough. And I remember looking at my friend and being really sad for her, but really, really sad for me, because I saw my life through her eyes. I knew in that moment that I could not stay in this place in my life. I could not stay in this marriage. And I went home and I asked for a divorce. And yes, it was hard. And yes, it was struggle. But you know what? Everything that I ever wanted or anything that my life has evolved into now could not have happened if I did not make that decision back then to pivot my life, to look around and say, you know what? This just isn't good enough. Now, I've done this so many times since then. I've had clients that I shouldn't have most people say I shouldn't have let go, but I wasn't happy. Let them go. Guess what? Better opportunities came. I've had jobs where I thought it was something that I really wanted, and then I got to it and I was like, I don't think this is for me. And you know what, guys? There's going to be times in your life where you do get exactly what you want, and it feels amazing for a while, and then something shifts, and it's just a sign that you were supposed to move on to the next thing. Life is this beautiful roller coaster, and we are not meant to just stay stagnant. We are meant to try new experiences, and we're meant to be unbelievably happy. And if you're in any area of your life you're not feeling joy, you need to find ways to improve it. You need to stop and look around and say, do I like the view from here? And if you don't, change your view. So this week, I really want you to get very clear on looking around and being very honest with yourself on what areas of your life are you staying stuck in because, one, it's comfortable, or two, because you're afraid to shift or to pivot. Now, this could be in the smallest of areas, or this could be massive, like a marriage or a job or something that is really, really scary to think about changing. I'm not asking you to leave your marriage in this moment. I'm not asking you to quit your job. I'm asking you to stop and at least observe if you like the view still, and get very, very honest with yourself about these things, because life is so precious and so short, and we do not have time to waste. We do have time to be able to stop and fix things. It's never too late to pivot.